Hello everyone, and in today's video we'll be having a look at the maximum temperatures. We'll also be having a look at the rainfall as well as today's maximum temperatures, and also what's going out in the Atlantic, and also our future weather into possibly into July. Will we see sunnier weather or will we see stormier weather? All of that will be included in today's video, so feel free to stick until the end. We'll cover all of that right now. But first, we'll have a look at the temperatures today. Has been a reasonably cooler and average day for the time of year, with temperatures holding up to only around 22-23 degrees, which is of course what we expect for this time of year. But again, nighttime temperatures will tend to fall away down into the single digits for the north. Meanwhile, for the south, it will still be mild start to the day, with temperatures up to still the mid to high teens, but still localized. It will still be warmer into Tuesday. As we head into Tuesday, those temperatures will be up to 25-26 degrees, which is actually where we do want for this time of year, especially not too cold, not too hot, the ideal temperature. And we really want that summer's warmth here to actually heat our skin. So it's going to really feel nice there tomorrow, not too hot like a heat wave, but also not too chilly, which is why 24, 25, 26 degrees is tend to be the perfect day. But sadly, it's not a weekend. But now let's move on to Wednesday. Now, those temperatures on Wednesday will be up a tiny bit higher, with temperatures peaking up towards around 27-28 degrees, staying up towards the high teens, as well as some places reaching 30 degrees. But still, that 30 zone does look like it's going to be staying towards northern France, so don't need to worry about that too much. But still a reasonably pleasant day to be outdoors. Now, as we move into Thursday, those temperatures will drop a tiny bit more, with temperatures holding up to 25-26 degrees. And lastly, temperatures by Friday, again, very unstable. These temperatures will be up and down at times throughout this week, so make sure to stay up to date with my daily forecasts. But on Friday, those temperatures will still be up to 24-25 degrees Celsius as we do move on towards our next run, which is our precipitation run. You can see this run right here displays all the rain coming in. On Monday, we had got some rain towards the north from the Atlantic, from Scotland and also Midlands. These will be petering out by the time we move into parts of the afternoon, mostly clearing by the time we head into Monday nighttime. But as we get another weather front approaching, we'll get even more heavier showers, and actually multiple batches of showers moving through this time. Not just one, but we'll see multiple of these outskirts moving into parts of overnight from Monday into Tuesday, mostly affecting for parts of Midlands, Wales, Northern England, and also Scotland. Now, as we move further into the day, as we head into morning on Tuesday, it does look still pretty wet for the working days. Now, as we continue this, now you can see on Tuesday, it will be a risk of thunderstorms actually for Midlands, as we see these develop into Tuesday. These could be heavy or even have thunder or lightning in them. But no thunderstorm outbreak, so don't need to worry about it too much. On to Wednesday is generally a drier day, but as we continue, that convection level rises and we get another day of maybe pulses of thunderstorms possible again, if not heavier showers even moving into parts of Wednesday afternoon. Again, it's mostly in the afternoon where we do get that kind of showers, those June, July showers, which we tend to get. But onto Thursday, it goes much downhill. We get low pressure skirting towards the south, thunderstorms towards the southwestern England, and we get another rain band moving in. So another heavy rain band, more specifically, moving in, which is going to cause some disruption. But luckily, it is going to pass part of the mainland of Scotland before another batch of it impacts Scotland by the time the sun rises. And as we continue this now, you can see another low pressure moves in behind it, smashing all that rain again. But again, luckily this time will be actually at nighttime instead, not really at daytime where it is going to impact some people. But onto Friday now, we are getting some risk of thunderstorms again onto Friday where that convection level rises. And again, it will start to dissipate and peter out by the time we move into nighttime, and sunnier skies do start to appear onto parts of Saturday with the isolated patch of rain. Now, let's move on into today's maximum temperatures. Today's maximum temperatures will be up around 23.4 degrees in Heathrow, which is actually in London. The highest temperatures today, which is actually really surprising. We forecasted this to be much higher yesterday, but seems like the weather models were wrong. All of them were wrong. But only today we have got 23.4 degrees, which is a bit cooler than average. But it is what it is. We have to stick with it. Still warm, still in the 20s. It's actually much better than having lower than 20 degrees, which we did had for the start of June. That felt really cold. But now that we're up into the 20s, it's still a bit cold, but still is what it is. Sometimes weather do move up and down with those temperatures. But again, if you're looking for warmer and hotter weather tomorrow or summery weather, it will be like that tomorrow. Hopefully it's not wrong again, like what we did from today's run. But let's move on towards the GFS run now. You can see low pressure is dominating the weather. Jet stream carrying along these low pressure systems, and the jet stream is actually pretty low for this time of year. Now, a ridge of high pressure tries to build in before another low pressure comes in with a westerly wind. It will continue to push weather fronts in as yet another low pressure develops into the start of July. And the high pressure is clinging on to the Azores there, trying to make a stretch way into the UK. Partially does, but low pressure again, it comes in like that and it brings more rain. And then again, look at that, high pressure continue to dominate for parts of the south. Low pressure dominating from that Portugal area. Doesn't look like it's going to hit us and dominate. But as we continue, high pressure is still dominating the weather. 380 miles ahead. This could well still change. But from now on, to the start of July, yesterday it was all rain. On the start of around 6th or 7th of July, we're starting to get sunnier weather mixed in with high pressure. So this is maybe the actual chance where we get real long-term summery weather if we are looking for this. But keep in mind, 384 hours is very hard to predict, so this could as well change. But comparing that with the GEM run, with the low pressure systems, again it's a calf low with a southerly jet stream starting ridge of high pressure like what we did with the GFS run. Now again, low pressure skirts and that westerly breeze will continue. We get another low pressure. This low pressure was actually the 1st of June, which was going to hit us, but this GEM run forecasted this to be 2 days before, so this will actually be around 2-3 days earlier to hit us. So there's already some confusion with the runs already. Again, after that passes, very similar weather low pressure from Portugal, which was again another uncertainty. Low pressure from Portugal was trying to develop but then failed. This time it looks like it's going to succeed, and look, we get low pressure systems here. Look how many millibars that is. That's 1,000 millibars just hitting the boundary from a high pressure to a low pressure, which is where we want, which is not what we want it to be. But if you're looking for hot weather, southerly winds could as well drive in through the weather. No, sorry, northerly winds could as well drive the weather. So again, sorry, if you're looking for cooler weather, that's what's good for you. So again, it is going to feel cooler with low pressure, definitely. But look at this, high pressure, another ridge of high pressure trying to dominate. But 240 hours ahead, can't really predict that much, can't really say that much, but it is what it is. This low pressure looks pretty monstrous, so that could as well be high pressure to it, and it could generally just kind of stop it from doing what it's doing already. But let's move on to the next chart, which was the last and final chart of today's video, the ECMWF chart. Again, we start with a southerly jet stream westerly degrees, which is what all of these models are certain of. But 60 hours ahead, where we start to get a bit of confusion, it still starts pretty similar here, even 144 hours ahead. High pressure dominating again. We get this low pressure which was trying to hit us in the 1st of June. This one hits us in the 30th of June, which is actually 1 day earlier. 1 day earlier to compare towards the GFS run, and 1 day later compared towards the GM run. So again, there's a lot of uncertainty where this low pressure is going to hit, especially and continuing. Basically, we get rid of high pressure temporarily dominating, and then we get southerly breeze. Let's see how hot this will be. Not too hot, mainly dominating France, and actually, as we continue this, we'll actually be wrapped back into a northerly wind instead by the high pressure Azores. We get this deepening low pressure developing out into the Atlantic, and then that's going to clash in with the weather, which we didn't have with all of the runs. But the GFS and ECMWF runs have got the Portugal low pressure, while the ECMWF hasn't. But the ECMWF also has this low pressure coming from Greenland, which all the other ones doesn't have. So a lot of confusion to 300 hours ahead. As we continue this, low pressure, another low pressure dominating, suddenly shifted jet stream, which again, ECMWF ends in a very, very stormy one, which does look like it's going to be rain all summer, but still it can change with this as well. It's only one run, so we don't only take one run in count, we take multiple in count. So don't worry if you're looking for more summery weather. I'm sure everyone is, but it is what it is. 360 hours ahead, don't worry about it too much. It might as well change, and very, very likely change actually if we're talking about this amount of hours ahead. So that's basically your weather forecast. Thanks for listening, and until next time, goodbye.